Today we're looking at 10 running back sleepers for fantasy football. We're going to start off functionally deep. So some of these guys are going to be draftable in your leagues. And then some of these guys are not going to be draftable as we talk these guys up. But we still want to talk about them because we like talking about deep plays. And I can do videos like these all day long. I can talk about sleepers, deep plays, deep running backs all day long. Multiple videos a day. Because that's just what I do. I look up the rookies all day. I look at the back of depth charts. In season, you're going to want to have that subscribe button clicked because in season, we talk about the waiver wire and we get deeper throughout the week. We start with your basic waiver wire gets and we go deeper for the deeper leagues. And then also after your waiver wire has ran, we talk about the waiver wire still, the only YouTube site out there that does that. And then on top of that, I help you set your lineups by looking at the matchups and trying to guess the plays for each matchup to go with so you have the information with the advanced metrics to make those decisions. Click that subscribe button, stop missing out. But we're looking at some sleeper running backs today. Again, functional sleepers with some actual sleepers depending on how you play the game. But we're going to start off with Austin Ekeler. Not a big-time sleeper. Again, functional for some people. Some people have him left for dead because he looked crusty and rusty last year, playing with and through injuries last year as well. Also, had 5 RB1 weeks. 5 RB1 weeks last year. Behind a bad offensive line that was banged up. It wasn't bad, it was banged up. It was banged up. They had some injuries. A lot of issues with the team. Wide receivers getting hurt and all that stuff. And then Austin Ekeler not looking great. Dealing with some injuries. But on top of that, the low games, 11, 11, 10. You were counting on more spike weeks. You're counting on bigger production because he's Austin Ekeler. But now all that's baked in. Round 40 price tag. If you like Brian Robinson, cool. But you're going to pay a little bit more to get him. Austin Ekeler in PPR is going to get a lot of passes out of the backfield here. Jan Dotson's gone. He's gone. They're bringing in Dyami Brown, and people are excited about that. That's a good indicator that some of these passes is going to go to Austin Ekeler. That a lot of those short targets is going to go to him and the tight ends. This is going to be a faster-paced RPO scheme where they're trying to get the ball out as quick as possible to keep Jaden Daniels upright. That means a lot of these balls are going to go to tight ends and running backs out of the backfield. That being said, Austin Ekeler is the guy for that. And if he's looking good, it looks like he's got some pop in the step when we're going over the training camp clips. Could be different in game. Could be different after a couple games. Austin Ekeler, though, running back 40 off the board. Running back 40 off the board. 39 running backs are getting drafted ahead of him. So if he looks like this down here with the production, 13 points per game, a couple RB1 weeks, that's good. That's a return on investment. That's what you're getting here. And you could potentially get that here with Austin Ekeler. Jaylen Wright, high-end lottery ticket running back. I've been yelling his name through the rooftops because, one, he's on the Dolphins. Anybody taking carries on the Dolphins you need to get. He's got 4.3 speed. He fits with the Dolphins. It's a fast-paced offense that runs the ball a lot. They'll even run it with their tight ends a little bit this year. Jaylen Wright is a lottery ticket. He's a lottery ticket. We're got to watch the other running backs, Raheem Mostert and Devin H. And one of them go down. If one of them go down, everybody's going to rush to get him off waivers. If you can stash and hold, you're not going to have to blow fat. You're not going to have to do that. I'd rather have a guy like that on my roster that I can stash and hold and say you don't even like him. You can still stash and hold and sell or something, make a trade, whatever you need to do, but you don't have to fight for him off waivers. You don't have to blow fab. You got him instead of having like a roster clogger, wide receiver, or a running back to only get you like 10 fantasy points a game. He's not really winning you weeks and maybe not even scoring you enough to prevent you from losing. Jaylen Wright, lottery ticket running back, that could give you RB1 production in this offense because I believe like any running back that can breathe air back there, getting touches in this offense has that opportunity. Ty Chandler, 4.3 speed, had some runs called back, would have been more productive last year. On the contrary, you could say that he got his opportunity and didn't really take over and become a big-time rusher, become big-time productive. But Aaron Jones dealt with injuries last year, and that could happen again. Older running back, but he could come back as well. But Ty Chandler, 4.3 speed, pop off the step, different quarterback back there. Things could be different. round 12 draft capital, a guy to get as a handcuff in an offense that wants to be fast-paced. Jaleel McLaughlin's going to be catching balls out of the backfield, and he's going to be getting opportunity. Javonte Williams is going to be a starter. He's going to get a bulk of the touches. We're not saying McLaughlin's going to take that, but also Javonte Williams has an injury history, and this team's looking to get younger, so it could be more McLaughlin and Estime by the end of the year as they're moving their pieces around, getting ready for 2025. I expect this team to win more games than expected to. We're counting on Bo Nix. We got to see what's up with him. But McLaughlin's going to catch passes out of the backfield. They got a quarterback here that will check it down, that will go down into progressions and not push it deep and take the safe play. The safe play is going to be with McLaughlin a lot of times. Look for him to get around 3 to 4 targets a game. Look for him to have some upside, especially if something happens to Javonte Williams. Chuba Hubbard, we talk about him a lot, and I believe he's well known by now. Jonathan Brooks on the pup. Chuba Hubbard back in the drafts. I think he's going to climb ADP a little bit. In home league drafts, he still might be overlooked. But for the first 4+ weeks of the season, he should be getting workload, should be getting opportunities. If you want to go even deeper, Miles Sanders, he looks like he's got his pop back in the step. He dealt with injuries last year. Maybe he gets some workload, maybe not. We got a new offensive system here. Dave Canales is there from Tampa Bay. Maybe they work him in a little bit. That's only if you're in deeper leagues and non-traditional leagues. Traditional leagues, you're not looking like that, but I'm just throwing them out there just in case you want to do that. Audric Estime, I brought him up earlier. This guy is a monster. He is going undrafted in a lot of basic traditional leagues, but he's good between the tackles. He's got good vision, moves laterally very well, can really hold a full workload. Could be a guy getting a lot of carries by the middle of the season, middle to the end of the season, because this team is getting ready for the future. They want to see what their young guys got. This guy was very productive last year with Notre Dame. He's got more pop on the field than what his 40 time says, but we've had guys run slow 40s and pop off before. Kyron Williams, but still, Audric Estime is a guy to look at. Dylan Laube, he's got a lot of upside, catches balls out of the backfield, had more catches than Marvin Harrison Jr. last year, even though it was at New Hampshire. That's something to bring up for a running back who's electric in space, who's good in the passing game, something to pay attention to. But Laube's got upside in the passing game if you're looking for something stand out for PPR. Zamir White's going to get the workload. Alexander Madison's going to get some workload. They are stating they're going to use their running backs a lot. If one goes down, Dylan Laube might come up. Amir Abdullah is a guy to pay attention to, as he's been kind of splashy off and on throughout his career. We're looking at Carson Steele again because he's a big-time prospect. He can rumble between the tackles. A lot of people like him. He's a deep play, but if you want to pull that lottery ticket, he is on the Chiefs. It's a very explosive offense. If something happens to Pacheco, his value is going to go up, and people are going to run to him off the waiver wire, and you may want to already have him. Samaje Perine was picked up. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to IR the pup. He's going to be missing time. Samaje Perine is going to be out there week 1. Carson Steele is going to be getting some opportunities if something happens to Pacheco. It's a wait-and-see type of deal, but he's also proven to look good on the field, and he's a lottery ticket, and if you want to roll with it, roll with it. Ray Davis, from the lottery ticket scale, from 1 to 5 that I just made up, I believe probably about a 5. I'm trying to get him in a lot of leagues. I feel good about him. I think he could be the 1B back to James Cook. I think he can get a lot of workload here in this offense. He's very dependable as a pass blocker. He's one of those running backs who's just gritty, gets the job done between the tackles with excellent vision, and is good in space. He's good reading the momentum of the defenders around him. Ray Davis in this offense, and this is an offense that can move the football historically. He's a good fit here. And this offense tried to bring in a bunch of other 1B running backs last year. They even tried to bring in Leonard Fournette. That didn't happen. That's why they drafted Ray Davis. Seems like he would be a good fit here. Braelon Allen is a guy I've been talking up. He's been rising the draft board, but I've been talking him up way before that. We look at the training camp clips every day. We look at those every day throughout training camp. We want to let you know which players are on the rise. Braelon Allen, out of all the rookie running backs, I believe he gained the most stock because he wasn't draftable prior. Now behind Breece Hall, if something happens to Breece Hall, he could be getting opportunities. Someone mentioned that he could be slower, which he is. He's a bigger running back, but that's just not his game. He's a bigger running back that pounds it between the tackles. He's got build-up speed, so once you get past the second level, he can house it. He does have the opportunity to do that, but that's really not his game, and that's not what you're going to bank on. You're going to bank on him if something happens to Breece Hall, getting a lot of workload, getting goal line touches, getting more touches than realized, moving the chains. He's very good at that. And he broke out early at college football with Wisconsin at age 17. He's a very young running back prospect because he came out early. He looked good. Braelon Allen played last year with an injury at Wisconsin and played through it, so his tape looks a little off, but you watch him play in preseason and training camp, he was taking over. He was looking good. They were calling him and Breece Hall the killer beast. The Jets media is very excited about him. Very excited. He's been rock solid, and he could get some workload like around the goal line, and I could see that happening because why not with a 235-pound running back who's been looking good throughout preseason and training camp that you drafted in the 4th round that's exceeding expectations that everybody's talking up. This could be a running back that you want to stash on the stash meter here, considering how cheap he is. 5 out of 5 for sure, but those are the sleeper running backs we're looking at. We looked at some functional sleepers. We try to go a little bit deeper, but let me know who you're stashing from your draft in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. Want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.